What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we're here for another Manchester City match analysis. Before we crack on with this video with the analysis against Atalanta at home, just wanted to say, if you're interested, make sure you subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, put your push notifications on, aiming for 5,000 subscribers. We're only 5 subscribers away from that, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Don't forget, you can go check out my social media links in the description below and popping up on the screen for my Twitter and Instagram. And also don't forget, leave a thumbs up if you enjoy this video and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So we're going to crack on with this analysis and talk about all the talking points from this game. So first thing to talk about is the teams. Quite a few changes for Manchester City in this game. We went with Rodri and Fernandinho, however, though, so we didn't change that, which was a surprising thing that Pep Guardiola did. Went with Kyle Walker, so obviously fit to start instead of João Cancelo, and we saw Benjamin Mendy, which is probably my biggest surprise here, starting his second game in 3 days, just coming back from injury. We know how suspect he can be from injury. Thought that was a little bit risky considering we have other players that can play in that position. Yes, Zinchenko's injured, but we've got Cancelo and also Angelino that can play in that position. And when are we going to see Angelino? You know what I mean? I thought he might have started in this game, but there we go. Kevin De Bruyne, he started a game. We saw Phil Foden coming in for David Silva, and Phil Foden certainly looked the part, didn't he? And Bernardo Silva was on the bench. At least I predicted the front three for Manchester City, really, with Raheem Sterling, Riyad Mahrez and Sergio Aguero. For Atalanta, Martin de Roon, he started, former Middlesbrough man. We saw Pasalic, is that how you say his name? I don't know how you say his name. The Chelsea loanee, he was on the bench along with Luis Muriel, who was also on the bench too, which was interesting because I was expecting both of them to start, but there we go. Atalanta obviously looking to try and cause a few stirs and looking for a lot of teamwork to try and grind Manchester City down, which, why not? So, first half, slow start, I thought. Atalanta were playing a very high line. Now, when City play their high line, I'm used to Premier League teams then sitting deeper. They went and matched us. So there was a lot of high pressing, a lot of loose balls and a lot of pressing in the middle, and it all looked a little bit scruffy and a little bit ugly, but it was suited Atalanta because they were finding space in and around Manchester City's attacking third. Passes weren't really threading through, but if a little bit better passing from them, they'd probably been able to get in and around Manchester City and be able to create one or two opportunities, and they did look dangerous, pulling balls back, winning headers, getting shots away, albeit off target, but they were creating chances and they were looking to run at Manchester City, so obviously done a little bit of homework on what City's been like this season. But as the first half went through, they started just to sit off a little bit more. City started to get a little bit of a front foot. City started then to come forward and started making things happening, and with that, Benjamin Mendy ended up coming forward. He was dispossessed, out of position. Ilicic, is that how I say his name too? He was countering, runs at Fernandinho, gets into the Manchester City box, just Fernandinho misses the ball, brings him down, penalty is given, and on 28 minutes, Malinovskiy, is that how you say his name? He ended up putting the ball into the back of the net as Ederson dives the wrong way for 1-0 on 28 minutes, which ideally wasn't the start that we were looking for. So that's how it pays to be patient against Manchester City. Try and grind us down. First 15-20 minutes, very crucial to a game against City. They'd got what they wanted, and I was a little bit concerned, not overly concerned, but a little bit concerned that they managed to have something to work with. I wasn't too sure how Atalanta were defensively. I know they score a lot of goals, which suggests to me anyway that attack is their best form of defence, and so there was going to be goals in this game, which is why I was never too overly concerned. But when you go 1-0 behind, you're always going to be a little bit concerned. Italian teams too, normally, fundamentally, they are quite good at defending. So, yeah, I wasn't too sure how to feel. But we didn't have to wait too long. Raheem Sterling on the left gets across. Sergio Aguero ends up tapping it in, makes it 1-1, putting the ball through the goalkeeper's legs from close range on 34 minutes, which meant that they only had the lead for 6 minutes, so anxiety done there. We, of course, all waited for VAR to see what was happening. When you're in the stadium, you have no idea what's happening, and it is something that needs to be addressed. Then it was one-way traffic there from Manchester City. Raheem Sterling was driving a quick run at Atalanta's defence. Just like Fernandinho when he gets driven at, ends up bringing down Riyad Mahrez. Penalties given. I think it was Masiello brings him down. Sergio Aguero, always a bit concerning when I see Aguero taking a penalty. I love Sergio Aguero, but let's face it, he isn't the best penalty taker, but this was an absolutely brilliant penalty. On 38 minutes, slots it into the goalkeeper. Well, Sergio Aguero's left of the goalkeeper's right. Keeper dives the right way, doesn't get there. Great goal. 10 minutes turnaround from Manchester City, and we're going at half-time. 2-1 ahead, nowhere near our best. Atalanta were looking lively up top. felt like we just needed a third just to ease everyone's anxiety, and hopefully with us getting a third, if we can get it, is what I made a note, is that then from there we can start to get more fluidity into our game and a bit more natural pace to our game, because whilst we were leading, it wasn't a convincing lead and we weren't playing to the best of our ability, if I'm completely honest. One note, Rodri's injury did look as a concern. It's a definite hamstring. You could tell from immediately from him pulling up that it was going to be a hamstring injury, which is normally a few weeks injury, by the way, as John Stones came on for him. Pep Guardiola has given an update saying he's hoping it will be 10 days best case scenario. Worst case scenario is roughly around 3 weeks, which means he'll be out of that big Liverpool game. So hopefully it won't be too serious and he'll be back in less than a fortnight, which would be fantastic, which means he'll be here for the Liverpool game. Now, into the second half, Atalanta put Pulisic and Muriel on at half time. City, we're looking to get our third goal. Atalanta, they're looking to get back into the game. So it was a little bit of a tussle. 58 minutes, Riyad Mahrez managed to play in Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne then cuts across, feeds it in. Phil Foden, unselfishly, instead of going for goal himself, and who'd have blamed if he did, squared it across. Raheem Sterling's there. It's not the easiest to finish, by the way, but he just smashes it home and gets the job done for 3-1 Manchester City. Always what we were looking for. Then on 64 minutes, İlkay Gündoğan plays in Raheem Sterling. This time, one-on-one with the goalkeeper after going round a player. Ends up smashing it past the keeper, sending him the wrong way. Putting it 4-1. Manchester City here, ruthless, getting the job done. By the way, played much better in the second half. Atalanta then come forward, realise they're not very good at defending, want to attack, end up hitting the post, gets tapped in on the rebound just moments later, though the flag is up and he's ruled out. I think one of the players in the build-up was offside. And then from that, 69 minutes, just a minute later, Riyad Mahrez then delivers a wonderful ball in, and there's Raheem Sterling to tuck away for an 11-minute hat-trick. Absolutely fantastic from Raheem Sterling. And let's be fair, Raheem Sterling could have had 4. He was played through one-on-one, probably had too much time to think about it, slots it past the keeper, wide, crazy. So yeah, Phil Foden, lastly, he was sent off on 84 minutes, 2 yellow cards, quite harsh in my opinion. Referee did have a brilliant game, if I'm completely honest. Thought Phil Foden actually had a decent game, unlucky to be sent off. But in the end, full time, decent. Just quite quickly, sorry, we're just having some stuff done on the house, so I had to just come downstairs quickly, so I'll just quickly wrap up the video. So, stats, terms of Man City, 55% possession, Atalanta 45% possession. That, to me, isn't too bad. In terms of the Etihad Stadium as well, teams coming in having 45% possession. Atalanta didn't do bad. They had 13 shots, 6 on target, just 1 goal. They'll look to improve on that. They're an attacking team. They like to score goals, and I'm expecting this to be completely different when we go to Italy and play them, particularly on the San Siro, a good-sized pitch, where if you can defend properly, the game can end up being low scoring, so you create opportunities there. You're going to have to put them in the back of the net. City, 15 shots, 10 on target, 5 goals. Nothing wrong with how clinical Manchester City were, and albeit we didn't play our best game yesterday, we did, however, when presented with opportunities, put them in the back of the net. In terms of passes, 495 passes from Man City at an 88% pass completion rate. That's not perfect from City, if I'm completely honest. We're normally looking for around 550, 600, even 700, particularly at the Etihad Stadium. Just shows how well Atalanta did in being able to string together 399 passes at a pass completion rate of 85%. So they're a decent Champions League side. I can see why they're doing okay in Serie A, or doing better than okay. I mean, they're sitting in 3rd place, they're in the Champions League, and they may well get Champions League again next season. They're a decent team. They're a difficult team to be able to break down and score goals past, particularly when they're trying to get on top and trying to put you under pressure from scoring goals. They remind me a little bit of ourselves, so yeah, I'm not taking them for granted too much. Clear-cut chances, 7 created, 1 for Atalanta. In terms of corners, 7 for City, 6 for them. In terms of tackle rates, both near enough the same, both working at around 55 to 65% tackle rate completion, which is pretty decent, to be fair. Headed clearances, aerial duels, Atalanta being more dominant there, as you'd expect. A couple of big guys actually at centre-back too, look pretty dominating. Balls in, set pieces from City a bit poor yesterday, so like not really making anything happen, but that's that. 6 saves from Ederson, 5 from the Atalanta keeper. Ederson had a really decent game in my opinion. So yeah, stats wise, alright actually from Atalanta. Like, the scoreline does not suggest how much of a difficult game this was for City, whilst we weren't at our best. When you're creating opportunities and put them in the back of the net, that ultimately is normally normally, what wins football games. So my JSGC man of the match has to go to Raheem Sterling. He scored a hat-trick. I mean, to me, I could be critical again and say Raheem Sterling didn't have the greatest of games, but still put himself in the situation where he's going to get into them attacking places and score goals, and that's just what he's done. And he's getting better and better and better at that. Albeit, I think we're all disappointed he didn't put that fourth in. It was probably one of the more easier chances that he could have put away, but there we go. But it's amazing that I can say that we didn't play well and yet still score 5 and win by 4. I'm disappointed Phil Foden got sent off. I thought that the referee, I know some City fans are going to say like he was a terrible referee, like he weren't horrendous. I thought the decisions that he made, majority of them were probably correct. It's just, I thought it was just a little bit harsh, like just little free kicks that perhaps in the Premier League you'd probably get away with just pulling everything back. It's all just very stop-start. Like, it didn't influence the game too much because you've got 2 attacking sides, but if you didn't and you wanted to break up the play, either team wanted to do that, they probably could have. They both chose not to, so fair credit to both sides, and it ended up being a nice attacking game. I suspect that John Stones and Nicholas Otamendi now, with Rodri picking up an injury, big couple of weeks for both of them. Like, if either one of them want to cement themselves as centre-back starting place, now's a chance to go and do that. Just put in a good 3 or 4 performances and you could probably seal yourself right through to December. So yeah, Atalanta, they had chances, could have put them away, could have scored 2 or 3 goals, made this game very different. They went ahead. They're sitting on 0 points and probably going out the Champions League, but they're a team that are good, if you get where I'm coming from. They're not whipping boys, they're not a terrible team, they're a difficult team that you have to take serious and you have to play to a very good level to beat them. I have a lot of respect for them. They're an attacking team, they went for it. I always appreciate when teams do that. But for City, 9 points from 9. We're sitting at top of the table. I think we're 5 points clear. We've got 3 games left to play. We know if we can win our next game and results go right in the other game. I think it's in Zagreb. So Dinamo Zagreb playing Shakhtar, who both drew yesterday. I think it was 2-2. The draw again and City win. Not only will we qualify, but we'll qualify in first place too, with 2 games to play. Could be crucial with us doing a bit of squad rotation, which, going off the injuries and things happening after game after game after game, could well be much needed. But thought process, not on 2 weeks time for the next Champions League game, move straight on to the Saturday early kick-off against Aston Villa, Premier League game, chance for us to close that gap with Liverpool down to 3 points, with them having quite a difficult game against Tottenham, who haven't had the greatest of starts, but we all know how they can play up at Anfield. Maybe put Liverpool under a bit of pressure, get that down to 3 points, see what happens and move on from there. So I'll have a preview up for that. Got a match vlog for this game too up today. If you want to go and check that out, please do. Plenty more Manchester City, plenty more football content, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe, press that red button, press the bell, put your push notifications on. Make sure also you can check out my social media links in the description below, my Twitter and Instagram if you want to go and follow me on there. My email is also in the description below if you want to hit me up with any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, then you can. That's in the description below too. And make sure also leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And I'll see you all again for the next video. So it's been JSGC. I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. Sorry if I had to change backgrounds twice, but got things going on. I'm a busy person. Just is what it is, but still grinding, putting out videos for you lot. Peace. Ciao for now.